We appear to be live.
Surprise live again. Just give people a little chance to join us.
I do believe...
Just twist the screen here so I can see chat.
I do believe Potato is still with
Yep,
us, seeing how
Potato's
he
here.
can see ads.
Alright, so... Belosso's still here. So we had a look at the save files. And so I'll tell two stories here. One for the people who were here for the last stream, which won't be available on YouTube for purposes of continuity. And for the people who were here in the last stream. So, in the last stream, this tunnel bugged out, and that was really important because it's an absolutely critical part of the strategy for
And
getting
Mia told
enough
us so.
metals. Mia did a lot of an I told you so. But I've looked back at the save files, and before we took a potty break, the save that I took just before we took the potty break has the tunnel with no resources on it. So that means that we can easily fix this. We're only about 5 souls behind where we were, so I've not lost much progress. And yes, so we can drop that back in there.
Bellosso also never closed this window, so he's still here with us too. And they're chanting for the MTYS command. I'd like to point out that unfortunately Nightbot does not work with Twitch.
Oh, right. So, where were we? I wanted to make sure it wasn't loading this one. I wanted to make sure it was loading that one.
Did you rearrange the tunnel?
Yes, so I've just rearranged the tunnel.
Lovely stuff.
Okay, let's check up here, because this was running out of things. It's nearly out of metals. Probably still have a little pile over here somewhere that we can collect. What's that now? It's polymer? Oh, there it is. Okay. Come and get that. And then drop it back there.
We'll also try to cover all bases again. I don't think capitalization matters.
Right, I'm going to take one of those shifts off. And we'll take the polymer shift off as well. I want to make sure that the focus for the employees is on those two.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
Alright, where were we on research? Okay, everything's queued. And scanning.
Right, let's see if I can fix the YouTube relay
You
again.
fool, Mia told you so. So, yeah, normally, I mean, if I did something wrong or I played my strategy wrong, I would either start from the start or I would fight it through to the bitter end. But because this was a bug out, I don't mind just going back a save and reloading it and avoiding the bug.
Which is a fair policy to adhere to. We're just really lucky that Sal had a save right after she placed the tunnel. Now, let's see. Test. Can I see that message on YouTube? And if not, why not? I cannot. Not very nice. According from what I've observed so far, the problem seems to be ever since YouTube changed this entire thing again, all the Twitch messages do still get relayed, but at the moment they're being connected to YouTube Stream Now service rather than YouTube Stream Vent service, which is what we're currently using for this. Bell also points out, wouldn't it be unlucky to have the save right after the thing you wanted to avoid? Well, yeah, but the lucky thing was, at that time, we hadn't placed any resources or materials
So
in the...
Your request for a potty break has
saved us.
saved us. Yeah, has
I
done us a
refer
good service.
To us in multiple,
You
plural.
fooled me, I told you so.
Although, as stated earlier, it's entirely Sal's fault, so I shouldn't include myself in this.
Cable fault
But I
reported.
should probably stop roping on about that, otherwise she will bap me or something.
Otherwise, we'll have to have a lesson in what it's like to be a good sport. Oh yeah, yeah.
To be
yeah,
honest,
there
I
was
don't
the-
know what being a good sport is like. Like, what qualities does a sport need to have to be a good one? That's probably an entirely subjective question.
Stirling generator. Let's get the Stirling generator in.
I mean, technically speaking, American football and normal football are fairly similar when it comes to its base components of shove a thing around. But still, some people have strong preferences in that, so I'm not sure if either of them is a good sport. Or for those people who think one of them is a good sport, I doubt they'd consider the other a good sport. I'm going on about good sports too much. But also is amused by the fact that I refer to normal football as normal football. Or I could have just said football, but in the context of mentioning American football especially, it feels weird because some people might believe I'm just repeating myself. But Belos is happy that his inability to hold it in any longer saved you some headache.
Certainly did.
And Potato just experienced that annoying moment when his computer crashed right after Sal goes live. What an oddly specific annoyance. I hope you don't experience it too often.
Lots of these broken down things are just waiting on machine parts, and we've got machine parts right there. But I think the
Crop failure reported.
Ow.
Resources are low.
there.
Ow.
That one. Let's see how we're doing for crops.
Association football? Really? That's a term I've never heard. Sal, is that a term?
It's not one I've heard, but I'm not that familiar with international descriptions of football.
Well, I'm not really familiar with any football at all.
Alright, let's...
I'm lucky that I vaguely know it by name.
Resources are low.
Right, gonna
Bill also
stop the
points
machine
out that
parts
American
factory for a minute.
football, you don't do so much shoving as more carrying the thing around. Well, in the end, you still aim to have the thing in the other end of the thing, so it's somewhat similar. Come on, throw me a bone here. I'm really not very good with this. Potato feels sorry for the people who
Resources are
have
low.
ball-shaped feet.
Oh, want to turn that one down.
I think you're misguided here. If we'd be talking about ball-shaped feet, we would be referring to it as ball feet. While, on the other hand, if we're talking about a football, we're referring to feet-shaped balls.
Now, there's the thing to think about.
No, please don't think about it. That
Too
would
late.
ruin the entire concept of it being a ball, but then again, the Americans already didn't really get that.
Too late. Thought about it.
Stop it! I don't want to think about shoving a foot leather sack around. Bell also agrees about the name of the game, and he will always refer to it as football rather than the S word.
Well, what have we got up there? Nothing. So let's come and collect. Oops. Come and collect from here some machine parts.
How many drones do you have?
Sector scanned.
18. Ooh. I know you probably don't really have the resources to spare, but are you sure you don't want to call in a load of drones?
That's not really my priority just at the moment.
Fair point.
Right, let's take some machine parts up there.
Oh yeah, did you already collect those metal bits out in the countryside that we found
Yeah.
last time around?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. You're being way too efficient while I'm not looking. I appreciate the style of dome you've chosen. I personally also believe this is the nicest looking one.
What do you mean, style of dome?
The dome style, you know, with the grid and the...
Oh yeah, because they've got skins.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
This one is alright, I like it, but the first one has a nice window thing, but the weird yellow bit makes it look so out of place. This is alright, but it wouldn't be my first choice. I really enjoy the other one, it just looks fancy and stylish and also easy to repair. As in, you know, if a window breaks, you don't need to replace the entire dome or use car glass
How are we getting on with that?
to fix it.
Okay, so it just
just
needs the
replace
concrete.
one thing.
Cable fault reported.
Ah, this went a lot faster this time around, it feels like. Like, last time this took an hour how to get this close. How did we manage it in 15 minutes?
Because the drones were just running around in circles.
Oh, yeah,
Or
right.
it got to the point where it was half built and then they just stopped.
But also is asking, wouldn't it be dome glass? I guess that's what you could call the company here on Mars, yes? But it was referring to that wondrous German car commercial, Carglass, and the company with the same name, who just, you know, squirts some stuff into your windshield and then it repairs the glass. Lovely stuff, I think. I never tried it myself. I just remember that I was very fond of the commercials because I was really fascinated with parody videos who took it all out of context. At one point, I had those commercials memorized. I'm not sure if I should be proud of that.
I should raise
Just
that
like
priority
Marcel
a bit.
Davis from 1&1. Leiter der Kundenunzufriedenheit. Bell also was aware of the car glass thing. He just wanted me to adapt the name more appropriately for the setting. Now, Potato's asking, what if the large window was just made up of many octagon slabs of glass? I guess, but the game doesn't communicate that very well. But also believes that the best commercial related in any way to cars was Super Ingo Nicht Diesel. I'm afraid I wasn't familiar with that one. I had a very exclusive taste when it came to my commercial consumption. Because I kinda stopped watching the telly after that. Oh well.
Need to keep an eye on the food.
It was a commercial for a now defunct chain of gas stations. Was Ingo the name of the gas station? I admit that might have been during a time when I wasn't too invested in petrol stations of any sort. Is the other rocket already full?
No, the other rockets I've told them not to concentrate on.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
We'd set this one off, and we brought in, or we're bringing people back.
Oh, yeah, right, we're early.
Yeah,
Oops.
that's how long that tunnel was sat half built.
Ooh. Crazy stuff. So the plot of the commercial was this. A guy is filling up his car, multiple people tell him Super Ingo, and he thinks they're complimenting his car. Ugh. Really doesn't ring a bell. Then the station mechanic says the above line, and Ingo realizes his mistake. Oh! Oh god, I get it now. He's filling his car with diesel instead of super.
Ew.
Oh, I'm a fool.
And Potato says, so is it still glitched, or did you find a safe save? Yeah. The save that we took immediately before going for a potty break, when Belle also asked us to take a potty break, was...
Right after we had placed
Yeah,
the
I
tunnel, so
just-
no resources were in there yet.
just placed it. It was perfect timing.
So we could just abort it and then replace it, and everything was fine. And now we almost have the tunnel complete after just 15 minutes. I mean, if they'd get on with delivering concrete, we'd have the tunnel complete by the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, just want to get this rocket.
Sector scanned.
Okay, right, now you can start
Ah, the tunnel's coming along.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Finally. Maybe I'm mistaken, but didn't I read somewhere that there is an efficiency bonus for spacing your wind turbines apart? Or am I
Wind
confused?
turbines. No, there's a efficiency for not having these two overlapping, which I'm still bugged about. I'm still gutted I didn't spot that.
Alright.
Yeah, well, we'll have that. Okay, right. Then we can send this guy down here to come and get some metals. Okay, you jump in there. And then just come down here. Let's make sure you can. And you come and research that. Okay, so collect everything and then unload
God.
it.
I remember
Yeah.
that commercial now that I've seen it again.
Pell also says impeccable timing on starting this stream, Sal. I just finished watching the latest episode of Philip DeFranco's news show when Twitch ads started playing in the background. Potato says just got the Anubis notification.
It's alright. Move on, even though you said earlier you didn't like our streams that much.
Yeah, well, we'll
It'll
just...
be here, still archived, for you to watch later on.
Yeah.
You can experience all our tunnel-related adventures, which will be probably like too, later on demand, here on Sal's YouTube channel. Unless you're currently on Twitch, in which case it wouldn't really be here, it would be
Anomaly
over on
analyzed.
YouTube, but you know, you get the gist.
And I'm only
Aww.
planning on...
Cable fault reported.
Only planning on streaming
A tiny
a
bit.
bit, just till we
Just
catch up to
till
where we
like
were.
3 in the morning.
I wasn't really planning on going that.
Well, she wasn't planning on, but she
No.
wasn't planning on the last stream in the middle of the night too.
Where are you? Okay, so he can't get through there.
He can, you need
Resources
to just
are low.
point him at the tunnel directly.
He was down there?
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
So he was down there, and I said, just come, see if you can come over here. And he didn't, he went back up the tunnel.
Oh, unfortunate.
I figured that'd be the case, but oh, let's try. Oh, right, here comes metals. Yay!
Lovely stuff.
Alright, so now we can open another couple of shifts there. I can chill out a little bit on this place.
You do have staffed infirmaries, right?
Yes.
So it wouldn't harm to send your people into a bit of overtime work, in case it becomes necessary.
Only if it becomes necessary, but we should be okay. I'm going to ship another load of people back. I wonder if that celebrity is still there. Ooh, new texts are available for
There's
research.
more to the barren environs of the Red Planet than meets the eye. A veritable treasure trove of undiscovered knowledge and wonder. So long as you know where to look.
Logi Engineering, so that is that either the medium dome or it's the apartments. Martian Aerodynamics, I can't remember, is that the upgrade to the wind turbines? Oh no, shuttle speed. Yeah, haven't researched shuttle hubs yet. And new dome. Nice. I would like that. I would like that very much.
Shuttles are really nice, although personally I felt like just throwing more drones at my problems. Then again, I am aware that Sal is not really in the luxurious position to do so. But it is really satisfying to just order in an entire rocket filled with drones, seeing it land, and then they just all swarm out and do all the things. On a side note, say hello to Taka, who's
Hey,
probably
Taka.
here to criticize us.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
but it's her job.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a terrible thing to say about someone.
I feel like it's a quality being able to criticize people.
Yeah.
I'll be quiet.
No, you don't need to be quiet, you just need to be nice. Right.
Well, if you've got nothing nice to say, you should be
Oh,
quiet,
sorry.
but that's a different story.
That's a good philosophy.
Thank you. On a side note, Taka, just so you're aware, there are people on Twitch, but unfortunately our YouTube chat relay broke and it's only working one way now.
Metals. Look at that, I've got 30 metals! Woohoo!
So people can see your messages
you?
on Twitch, but you probably can't see their messages. Unless you're on Twitch. But no worries, I'm usually prone to reading all those messages out. Speaking of which, Taka says, nope, she just popped in to say hi, as she's normally moderating for Anubis on Thursdays. You say normally, it sounds like he isn't streaming today then. That would be a weird coincidence.
Okay, we'll get the next lot of metals shipped up there.
Do you have the capacity for a new batch of
Sector
people?
scanned.
Do I have the capacity for what, sorry?
For a new batch of people?
Yes. I'm waiting for the rocket to get back so I can pick them up.
So you've got a message from Anubis who says, Sal is awesome.
So is Anubis?
Thank you. So Anubis is awesome too. We love him. That might be going too far. Is that too nice? I'm not sure. Taka points out that he is streaming. She's just listening between the two of us for now.
We won't be streaming for long. We were streaming it earlier, but had a bug out in the game.
Research complete.
So just replaying to the point that we got to, having had to reload an old save.
Taka will now return to her normal job and let me get back to being my salty self. Thank you. Farewell. Have fun.
Cold wave
And we'll
approaching.
see you soon.
Tell Anubis to don't get bitten
Pipe
by
leak
the space
reported.
bugs.
Funding received.
Okay, right, lots of things all just happened at once. First of all, we need to switch the subsurface heater on. And that subsurface heater is on, but we need to expand it so it takes
Ooh.
in.
That's going to be expensive.
Yeah, but it works.
Does it need to cover the entire dome?
I'm covering the mine.
Oh, the mine.
Yeah, we need both mines covered.
I assume it was about the
Don't
dome, in
need
which case I would have said,
that up there.
look, just treat it like the radiator inside your home. If you need a warm spot, just lean close to that one warm spot in your otherwise cold apartment by huddling around the radiator.
Right, so Rocket is back. Let's get some passengers. And I can take a full load. Hey, celebrity. Yes, please.
And this
So
time he isn't
this
restricted.
He's a hypochondriac celebrity, and he's a youth. Oh, well, it's a she. She's a youth. That's fantastic. And she's an engineer. Like,
This
just
is-
everything. Hypochondriac, but hey ho. We'll take you.
But also lost track between all the reloads so far. How were your exports again? I think we reached the same point as last time when you
Yeah.
calculated it. So we're now at 70 and we're waiting for one last rocket to ship a full load back to Earth. Right?
Yeah.
Really, it's just 100.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, okay. I would have figured it was more, but alright.
A lot of these people are the same as before. Um, lots of engineers. Really good. Alcoholic. But hey ho, you're an engineer, we'll take you anyway. What?
Belorsa's daring you to keep on streaming until 4 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, like, yesterday.
um, another geologist would be good. Hypochondriac and rugged. Gambler. Yeah, the gambler's okay. I can't satisfy their needs is the problem because we don't have anywhere for them to gamble. Oh, right. So now we need to make sure that this is busy refueling. We're preparing for the cold wave.
Is that guy in your hotbar another celebrity?
No, he's a genius.
Oh. What's also fascinating to me is, due to one of those people being pinned to my hotbar, I actually got to see how they were getting older. Their appearance changes with their age. It's impressive. I appreciate the attention to detail they put in this game. Potato's now chanting for a 24-hour stream.
Sector scanned.
I mean, I'm fine with a 4 a.m. stream, but please don't encourage her for a 24-hour stream. I need mental preparation for these, and a few finger sandwiches. Didn't you turn off your heaters again?
No, the cold wave's about to start.
Oh, oops, I thought it was already over.
No, it lasts about 4 or 5 days.
Well, also has to say that he finds us guys using a noise gate really uncomfortable. It would be perfect for other gamers who basically never stop talking, but you sometimes go for maybe even a solid minute or two without saying anything, which then makes him wonder if our microphone speakers have cut off. If our microphone or his speakers have cut off. Sorry. Should turn the music of the gamer up a little.
No, because that's not the. It's not the music, because the music carries on playing and isn't affected by the noise gate.
No.
The noise gate means that if we switch off the noise gate, then you get the fan of my computer all the time.
I'm aware. I believe some people find this comforting, I suppose.
Because, it's funny. Me and Mia have very different discomforts when it comes to audio problems. Like, there's, we sometimes get a sort of really high-pitched, screechy interference that drives me nuts. I hate it.
I can't hear it.
What's that? Mia can't hear it. Well, you've heard it sometimes when it's been really bad, haven't you? You know the noise I'm talking about.
I do believe I know what you're talking about, yes. We had some extreme cases where even I heard it. But she hears it sometimes when I think it's not even around.
And the fan noise doesn't bother me too much.
But it also says he'd take the constant fan noise in the background over wondering whether or not we're still talking.
Oh, right. Let's see how we're doing for fuel and exports. Yes, so we only need 7 more rare metals and we've met the target. We've also got a refuel.
Sector scanned.
Well,
Select
also-
a sector to scan.
Well, also's bottom line, apparently, is that we don't talk enough.
I don't know why I'm scanning over there. It'll be ages before I can get over there.
Apparently we're supposed to take some lessons from people like Jacksepticeye, who I have no idea who that is, so I wouldn't be able to take any lessons from. I remember one of our viewers being called Jacksepticeye, something like that. But I'm pretty sure that's not the person you're referring to.
Isn't Jacksepticeye's target audience narky teenagers?
Isn't that the target audience of most YouTubers? Unless, of course, you have an analytical channel.
Sure, it's true of lots of YouTubers.
All the big ones that I can think of seem to be aiming for that, since that is where the, majority of free time is at the moment. That's also the majority of ad revenue.
I'm not sure that the data, if it was analysed, I'm not sure that the data would actually back that up.
Mm-hmm.
I think the advertisers believe you.
Ah, thank you. That's at least some form of solace I can take out of it. I mean, I'd gladly talk about more things, but
Anomaly
I need a
found.
thing to talk about, and at the moment I don't know what. Also, I find people who constantly talk without stopping rather annoying. There's a thing like appreciating a few quiet downtime moments, especially in an atmospheric game. But Bill also confirms that, at least in his experience, most high-profile YouTubers do have a rather young audience.
Yeah. There is a tendency, as I think has existed throughout time immemorial, or at least this and the last century, for teenagers to be very swayed by their peers.
So you're trying to argue just because some other kids are watching people like PewDiePie,
Mm-hmm.
they watched them too, and that's how he got so popular?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably more complicated than just that, but I can see it playing a factor.
Yeah.
I just noticed this cable box you laid around your dome, which
Yeah.
I find nice.
Oh, thank you. I just like to have it one space away so that the machines are not crowded up right round the edge.
Yeah, makes sense.
The only exception is here, where I already had this cable in.
And you
Oh no, I
hadn't-
already had the mine in, so I had to put the cable there to avoid the mine. Well, I'll tidy all that bit up and stuff. Once this mine's
Could you
run out.
squeeze a
and-
second mine next to the first one? Could you squeeze a second mine over next to the first one?
Yeah.
I just realized that. I usually try to place my mine square on because I've got the weird feeling that this is making the mine the most effective.
No, it's just like the water extractors. You can, as long as it at least touches it, doesn't make any difference as to how much it's going to extract or how efficient it is.
Oh,
It just has to touch the hexagon.
I place it squarely on. Your rocket is ready. The other one, I mean.
Oh, and that one has all of the resources in it we need. Okay, and here's the people.
Bell also
Alright.
actually agrees with me here to some degree. He doesn't like people talking non-stop or lightning fast, but he'd like to have at least some indication that the recording of our microphone is not cut. And background noises would do that would do just that for him. In my defense, it's getting late. It's past my standby time. Should I point out that it slightly bothers me that you aren't landing the rocket in the exact same place as before?
Why does that bother you?
I don't know. I just really like it when it's in the exact same place as before. I designed a little landing
New
pad out
colonists
of
have arrived.
pipes that are laid around my landing spot so I knew where exactly to land the rocket. It felt nice.
It's good if you can land it away from cables and pipes because the dust causes pipe faults and cable faults and things.
I suppose. But what if it's a pipe that I only use for signaling where to land the rocket and otherwise it's useless?
As long as it's not connected to
Exactly.
anything, then it won't. I don't think it'll lose anything.
See? So I just wasted some resources on having an aesthetic thing.
Right, let's knock you down. Say, oh no, you can collect exports. But this is the guy I want refueled. It will prioritize you, in fact, and get you back to Earth so that we can meet our 100 soul goal.
And still with roughly 10 days to spare, this is a good quota.
Yeah, that was kind of what I'd figured. Because I was timing it so that if we had like a great dust storm that lasted for days, that happened just at the wrong time, and if our metal mine shut down too early because of cold spell or all those things, I knew we weren't right on the edge. But it was one of those, the strategy would work unless we were really unlucky. But
So-
there's plenty of things to be unlucky about.
Potato's asking, how many babies have happened? I do
Uh,
believe there was actually a statistic for that.
I think there is. Let's have a look.
Bell also says at least 5, at least the last time she checked.
Oh, we've got an unemployed. Oh, and we've got 5 homeless. Hang about. Good job you asked me to look. Okay,
Ooh,
and
that's
that will
bothersome.
be because I have said this dome is not allowed to take some people. Let's have a look at the filters.
You only have filters and specialization.
Huh? So I'll allow some of our engineers to come over here. Oh no, I won't. I'll allow some geologists to come over here because they can actually be useful.
Well, let's hope the homeless people are geologists.
Well, they should be able to shift themselves around. At least one of them was.
Hmm.
I've
The
still
last
got
time I
4.
opened up a new home for people, they all just ran across the Martian wasteland and suffocated. Lovely stuff.
There are Earthsick colonists.
Okay. Well, I'll allow you in there.
Oh yeah, there you go, it's balancing itself out.
Sector scanned.
It's always a mild juggling act trying to
Yeah.
get those people in the right spot. What you could have probably done, at least from what I can tell, no need to actually listen to me and take that as solid advice, I'm just trying to make conversation to chat, is to look at the rare metal mine and try to relocate all the people
Yeah.
that are currently living in the left dome over to the right dome to make space for the other people. But that would have been really finicky because there's no easy way to tell
Research
where people are
complete.
coming from, besides just clicking on them directly and moving around. And then you'd need to move them over one by one, also hoping that they don't lose their bloody workplace. These people are all very confused. Probably because there's no real government in place and they seemingly just get ethereal orders from the heavens.
I'm going to go for less fuel and then new domes.
What Bell also finds notable is that one apartment complex houses 14 people, whereas one rocket seats only 12. It's a built-in allowance for babies right off the start.
Okay.
Does the breakthrough
that?
down there in the bottom reveal any rare metals?
It's rich underground, deep underground.
Oh,
I
right.
haven't got that ability yet.
Never mind then.
Ooh. Hang on. I really wanted that. I think I really want that. Before that.
That reminds me, one of the first things I did was trying to get the biofuel thing, which reduces the amount of fuel a rocket needs by 20 units, right off the start before my first rocket left the planet again. I achieved that by immediately investing most of my capital into outsourcing and then researching in the biotree. I don't know why I felt like this was really important at the start, but... Oh, there you go.
How much cash did you have at the start?
I don't know. Don't remember, really. You are playing as Russia on the hardest setting, so I imagine you probably didn't have that sort
No.
of capital to just randomly, willy-nilly throw at research. Potato is asking, as a child, Mummy, Daddy, what's Earth like?
About that now. Earth, it makes you feel heavy. And it doesn't have all these clean air domes to breathe. You have to breathe the wild air outside and it's full of dust. And the water's got sheep poo in it.
Sheep poo. Is that a thing? Should I be concerned now? Potato points out that I have the worst child voice ever. Well, I'm an old man at heart, and I need some produce. Oh, produce.
Open.
Bill also believes that I probably played as Ethan Mask from Space Y. No, I played as Europe, as the futurist. Because I felt like that sounds nice. They're complementing each other. I'm getting money for research, and the futurist, whatever you call him, has an incentive to research.
Resources are low.
Woohoo! We can send this guy off.
Off you go.
Yeah, pleased with that. And our 4 Earthsick colonists didn't actually jump on the thing, so they must be feeling better. Okay, machine parts, electronics, polymers. So we're down on everything, but I can collect a shipment once we get back to Earth. And then we can start building the next dome. Yay! Aren't old people basically human prunes? Presupposing that, let's contemplate exactly what prune juice would equate to, like baby salsa, but for old people.
Oh god, no. That's like turning mouldy tomatoes into ketchup. Ew, no thank you. There you go. You heard it here first. I consider old people to be mouldy tomatoes.
Alright, so we seem to be relatively balanced.
The first time a
Only one
colony
child.
failed for me, and all the people were running off on the first rocket home. Oh yeah, that's right. I do remember that you can salvage a rocket now because I've done it before. Lovely stuff. People running off to the
reported.
rocket. I waited until they were all in and then I salvaged the rocket. There was no going back. You either die here with me or you work on making this a better place to live.
So these people are not looking for a job
Why not?
because they got homesick.
Oh. Well, good for them. You see, the problem with my colony was, I installed an apartment complex, which needed just 2 more units of polymer to finish up. And instead of I don't know, shipping in a rocket just for 2 units of polymer, I thought, well, might as well just ship in some colonists. And hope that they just waddle off to the polymer factory, quickly make 2 polymer, and then they can build their house that they're going to live in. But apparently everybody was too entitled to self-righteous or whatever, lazy, call them that, to do anything about it. So basically, because they didn't want to do anything, the house didn't get built, then they got grumpy, then they didn't want to work at all in the polymer factory, then they all got upset, and then everything was falling apart. Because I was hoping they'd just do a little bit of work to live on Mars. Is that too much to ask? Then they all ran off to the rocket again, and I blew the rocket up. And then I restarted the game. Shows them.
Yeah, if those people who don't want a job would like to leave for Earth, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all.
I would.
Really do with having the space back in the dome for the people
Who would actually do some work.
to actually do some work, yeah.
I'll also cause this a vicious little circle.
Well, actually,
Sector scanned.
Don't need to be making quite so much rare metal now. We're not in
The
such a
day
rush.
claimed our last
Oh.
living founder, spelling the end of an era for us all.
Well, he's dead.
Vladislav Sidorov had a dream to see humanity united, conquering the stars. And Vladislav Sidorov allowed nothing to stand in the path of this dream. No hardship, no loss, not even personal safety. What more can anyone be asked to do? Yep, so he's died of old age. Rest in peace, and I hope you don't lie on the pavement for too long.
He's probably still lying on the floor for about a week.
Yeah. Oh, right, now I can switch off the subsurface heaters. Where's my other one? I know I can do all of these at the same... Right, no I can't. Because I need to leave 2 on. Right, switch you 2 off. That means I can close my Stirling generators. Let's have a look at export. So total export now is 2970. So we have to get that up to 3,300. We should do with this shipment.
Oh.
What? Well, deaths already. And you still got over 50 living colonists. I never noticed how many meat sacks you imported, Sal. Okay, so I think what we'll do is I'll let the rocket get to Earth. And I'll launch it back with a bunch of machine parts and electronics.
What about some drones?
I can't afford to
Fair point.
just spend the cash on a load of drones. I need the resources.
You're right.
Because we need to look at building the next dome as well.
I'm just, mildly
I know
concerned.
you like to see.
Oh no,
streams of drones.
that's not my point. I'm
What?
madly concerned. You're already on Hyder Mount, I assume, with just your 18 drones catering to both domes, all your mines and so forth.
Yeah.
I'm worried that adding a third dome would slow down your workforce to a significant degree.
Well, I would be adding in another thingy,
Oh yeah, but
which comes with 6 drones.
fair point. Never mind me then.
So it's not that I don't want more drones. I would like more drones. I just don't think I can afford it, the investment.
But did we run
Just
out of
a minute.
water
Time
up there?
flies. The day of the final mission evaluation is drawing near.
Yay!
It's probably a good time to look at the colony statistics and address any goals and issues that we haven't so far.
Okay, so we've actually exported way more than that. We've already done 135.
Oh,
And there's another 30 on its way, so we've done 175 in total.
well, we overshot our goal mildly.
Yeah. Which probably just because, you know.
So it
mustn't
wouldn't
be
have been fine
33.
even without the tunnel.
Um,
Well, let's not dwell on the
well,
tunnel.
the tunnel had nothing to do with the rare metals.
Fair point.
We needed the tunnel because we needed metals, not rare metals.
I felt like they were somehow connected.
No. Other than the
Needing the
time
metal
pressure
to-
was all around the same time.
Oh, right. But also points out that this is unexpected.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure how. Maybe there's something not showing up in the maths then. So total export 2970 divided by 135. Has anyone got a calculator to hand?
Oh, God. Okay. Tell me again.
2970 divided by 135.
22.
Okay. So 660 divided by 30.
22.
Ah, okay. So actually it was my mental
Funding
arithmetic.
received.
Which isn't the best at the best of times anyway. Yeah, okay, so we've easy done that. Oh, right, rockets down to Earth. Let's see what we need most of. We need machine parts, electronics, and polymers.
So, but also saying, so you thought one metal was worth 33 million, while it was actually 22.
Yeah.
One rare metal. Oh well, it's a mistake that can happen to anybody.
Oh, and it's a not an unhappy mistake either. Nice to be comfortable. And actually now, Mia, that I have a reasonable amount of money, I could throw a couple of drones on there.
Well, you don't have to, just because I mentioned them.
I only get 2 drones on there.
Well, 2 drones would make 20 in total, which is a number I'd be happy with. Might as well throw food on. Can't
Yeah.
harm. Just stocking up for hard times.
Alright, we'll get that guy back to us. And I was just thinking, up here... how are we doing? Out of machine parts. We need to ship some machine parts up here. how many drones have we got? 6. See, I don't think we need 6 drones up here. I think we only need about 3. What I could do...
I'd only staff that with 2 in total, to be honest.
It's 2. Shift some down here.
Is the goal now to play till Sol 100, so we breach our evaluation?
No,
Sounds
no.
like
I
precise.
was gonna finish shortly.
Oh, but 100 is such a nice round number. And I'm sure the others would probably agree with me. Well, we don't have to if you don't want to. It's unfortunate that that drone is sitting out there in the cold area and using up twice the amount of electricity. Yes, Bill also says please keep on streaming. I mean, come on, that's just 10 souls. Nothing
Oops.
bad.
Alright. Well, it does me good anyway to sort of stop and think and work out what my next step is going to be.
Research complete.
Because I've been so focused on getting to this point. Right, well, we have... Can do is... Ooh, let's see. Oh, so that just gave us 1 additional crop. I was expecting a bit more than that. And I thought our soil quality would have gone up a bit more by now as well. Because I'm doing 2 lots of soya beans to 1 potato. Potatoes only bring it down by 10, and soybeans take it up by 10, so it should have been adding 10. While we've got enough crops, I think what I'll do is we'll just grow soybeans in this one for the time being.
Ben also is asking, have either of us ever played or watched Planet Base? He's asking because he thinks that game's take on housing is the most realistic, with domes just barely big enough to fit 4 double bunk beds.
I haven't seen Planet Base. I've heard about it.
4 double bunk beds? That doesn't sound like a whole lot. Whoops, I might have angled myself wrong. There appears to be an echo from me now.
Oh.
Oh, don't worry, I've moved around again. It should be better.
Let's have a look at the research. Big domes would be great. Right, yeah, well, next dome, I think is what we need to look at next. Have another basic dome here. Because that'll be able to pick up those things. Both mines.
But it also points out that, yeah, in Planet Base, the domes are tiny. Each one is basically one room instead of this big open area. Well, this sounds less like a dome and more like a small house on Mars. Oh well, what do I know? You see, once I installed a second dome with another drone hub, because, you know, the first one couldn't cover both domes anymore, size-wise. I had a small problem regarding that whole resource management, because now all the resource pals that were designed for the drone hub number 1 weren't really accessible anymore for drone hub number 2. So what I then did was trying to design my drone hubs so that they'd be overlapping by 2 hexagons, and then just place all my resource areas in between those 2 hexagons.
Yeah, that's actually just what I was working out there as well. It's like, where do I put the drone hub so that it can get to all of my resource areas? And cover this dome in full, and it looks like it's going to be about there.
Hold on. To maximize the area the drone hub can cater to, if that's what you're aiming for, you could move it further out and then just reposition your resource sites so that it's at the edge of both of the drone hub areas.
Not really what I'm looking to do, because I have no reason to bring the drone hub any further out than this. I mean, there's some concrete out there, but...
Yeah, okay. In my case, I was aiming to cover another metal area. Or a potential 4th dome.
I want to get a nice overlap and make sure that anything that I might build on the far side of the new dome is... I could always move the new dome closer. I probably wouldn't be too daft an idea. Yeah, so having just built that...
Yeah, looking at that, this dome design does look more down to earth and realistic, I admit. But also points out that you could always use a bigger dome. Aren't you still lacking the research for that?
I hope when they build it, that bit of rock there will get deleted. Because it's an annoying bit of rock.
They'll turn it into waste rock.
Alright, so now the drone hub. That's good. That gives me lots of coverage on both the far side of the drone, of the dome.
Oh yeah, we actually didn't answer Belossus's question. Do either of us actually own or play Planet Base or Avon Colony?
Oh, I play Avon Colony.
That's a good spot to put your drone hub. That means if one of them runs out, the other one will be able to perform maintenance on it.
And it'll look nice. Just look, it goes in a straight line.
Very nice.
Now I've positioned my dome where it is because I didn't think I could move it any further over, but I can. Alright, so I am going to move the dome over a bit.
Again.
I'll be glad I fiddled around with it once I've
Yeah, nobody really gets their colony right on the first attempt. And that doesn't just go for this game.
Okay, that's where I want it.
But also points out that your statement, "it'll look nice," is such a girly criteria to use to decide building placement. And Potato points out that you'll probably get it sooner or later.
Balls.
On a side note, say hello again to Xeron.
Hello, Xeron.
Against all odds, Sal decided to carry on streaming.
Doesn't feel right.
Yeah, that's too far. That one cable that's sticking out is throwing you off. There you go, that's how it's supposed to look.
Yeah, it was as I was clicking. I must have just been the way I was holding my mouse. It was making the dome jump. Okay, and I'm definitely happy with this one this time.
Well, there's no harm in redoing it.
Yep.
Unless,
Rather
of course,
redo it
you've
before I've
already...
built it.
Yeah, before you've moved people in there. If you want to redo it while there are people living about, tearing the entire thing down, it might cause some people to get upset.
I don't think they'd be happy with that, would they?
Xeron is rather
Alright.
glad that we're back again.
I'm gonna pause that so we don't get too much, because conscious that we are still low on lots of resources after the rush to get the rare metals and the rush to get the tunnel built. We have still only got one metal mine, and
Xeron is wondering if that rocket is for sale. I assume he's asking for a friend.
Resources are low.
oh yeah, machine
Sector
parts.
scanned.
Have I got any on there? I have. Right.
Did you open up the
right
factory
there.
again?
Yes, I did. I need to go take some machine parts up top.
I'm not sure if you were still around for that, Xeron, but we solved the tunnel problem. Luckily, our last safe was immediately after Sal had placed the tunnel, which meant we could go back to that, abort the tunnel building procedure, and then replace it in the right order. Xeron will give us 8.5 billion for the rockets.
Meteor shower incoming.
But you'd need a rocket to give us the money because we're on Mars. It's kind of hard to get $8.5 billion to Mars without a rocket that you don't have. I'm starting to see a flaw here. And if we just send you the rocket in good faith, we have no guarantee that you'll send us the money.
Meteor storm. I wonder where that's gonna hit.
Bell also enjoys the piano solo in what I assume is the soundtrack of the game.
It's nice, isn't it? I like the music.
Music is nice, although if you tried any of the other radio stations, quote unquote, they're all awful except for this one.
Do you not approve me?
No, not really. It gets too funky and rocky and it's annoying me. Zeron is giving us his word that he'll give us the $8.5 billion. Well, I'm afraid that we can't just rely on your word. We need some sort of guarantee. I mean, we need this rocket to ship in things like drones and people. And hopefully, probably also bottled water. Why delete that, though?
Because if we get pipe faults or cable faults, then we lose... Well, actually, I didn't need to delete it all. I could have just deleted it from about here.
Resources are low.
Well, I think I'm just trying to say, reduce the range of your drone hub.
Well, if you get a leak, then you lose oxygen and water.
Well, not if it's not connected. If it's connected, I'm just trying to say you don't get anything back for salvaging those.
Yeah. Which was why I hadn't made it a priority to do, but I didn't want to leave it connected.
Bill also would like to know why this
Colors.
game needs a season pass. I don't know. I imagine they'll have
because they've got loads of content planned for it.
similar expansions as City Skylines. I wouldn't know. I haven't been following their development plans. But sure, why not? It's mildly better than most of the other common industry practices at the moment. Darren points out that this song has a Space Engineers vibe to it, which gives him some nostalgic feelings.
Yeah.
And Zirin is asking, do we have the resources for another rocket? Well, no, not really. That's the only one we have, and without a rocket, we'd be kind of stranded.
Oh, good. It looks like the meteor storm is striking up there.
Lovely stuff. Oh, there it comes.
Indeed.
Potato points out that there could be a Martian invasion DLC. As in, we are the Martians and we're going to invade Earth?
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Or are we being invaded by Earth? Hold on, we're already doing that.
So season pass means I already paid for the upcoming DLCs.
Yeah.
That's how I understand it.
I assume that's how season passes work, unless they've redefined it. Do you have a power leak by the tunnel?
I do. I am getting Mir and his minions to come fix it.
Oh, is that outside the range of the...
It is.
Ooh, didn't expect that.
I got the tunnel as close as I could. So that it's only a little patch just at the end, so it's not often that we've got problems. Once in a while, I've got to run Mir and his minions down.
Potato points out that COD already did that. He's talking about grey or green people adding to the difficulty of the game. No, I appreciate a street building thing more. Sounds petty. Your rocket is ready.
Ooh, so it is.
I also would like to know, but when does the season end? What if he purchases a season pass or a season where there are no updates or DLCs?
Did tell you in the thing, because I bought the season pass as well. I've never bought a season pass before, but I knew this game was something that I was going to want so much, and that I would want sort of the first bunch of DLCs. It's something like the next 2 or 3 DLCs.
Season
remember.
passes are a weird and mysterious thing. Because you're basically throwing money towards something that at the moment at the
Doesn't
very
exist.
best only exists as a rough idea. And personally I've had mixed experiences with season passes. I bought the season pass for BioShock Infinite because I've been an avid fan of the
Colonists
first
are
2
departing.
BioShocks. Oh no!
Great
Yes.
dust storm approaching.
Oh. I'm not worried about the colonists departing.
Are they seniors?
They're probably the Earth-sick ones that were refusing to work.
Fair point.
Waiting for resources to unload.
There are Earthsick colonists.
Oh yeah, that is a bug that happens sometimes. Just check the numbers. If they're all down to
food,
0, then they're
8.
done unloading, but the state of the rocket
on, you
hasn't
fools.
updated. Now, where was I? A mixed experiences with season passes. I liked parts of the BioShock Infinite season pass, as in, you know, getting Burial at Sea 1 and 2 for free was quite a nice experience. But then again, I wasn't all too happy with that silly arena shooter thing. But in the end, the price of the season pass was still lower than buying both the Burial at Sea DLCs at full price.
Right, guys, come get this one unloaded. Are you finished? Oh no. Oh, you are now. Okay.
So that was nice. But then I had the season pass for Fallout 4, which was for the most part a disappointment, given how strong their focus was on that horrible workshop system they implemented. I mean, don't get me wrong, the workshop system was nice and I spent quite a few hours in it because, you know, it's something you can do in the game, but I'd rather have expansions that come closer to something
fault
like
reported.
Fallout New Vegas' Dead Money. That was nice. I enjoyed that one. Rather than just, oh look, here's a Sims
Sector
4 stuff
scanned.
pack. And here's a Sims 4 expansion pack with which adds just slithers of a bit of a story onto it.
You've just missed 6 new drones pouring out of their hive.
Oh. Well, at least we're recording it so I can watch it later on YouTube. On a side note, before I completely forget it, Xeron offered us some military assets at $8.5 billion for the rockets. The rockets? You want both of them now? You know, we need to keep at least one. You can't just leave us stranded without rockets. We barely have enough people to sustain the colony. But also bought this game almost a month ago. And he isn't exactly sure anymore what he exactly purchased. So you might have the season pass, or not. We don't know. So in my experience, a season pass only really makes sense if you trust the publisher and the developer with what they're going to do. And even then, you probably shouldn't pre-order it with a season pass. Pre-ordering a game is such a risky thing these days. It can turn out great, as we've seen with Doom. It can turn out awful with Fallout 4, where the story is absolute garbage and it's more of a first-person shooter than a role-playing game.
Would you have bought it anyway?
Fallout 4?
Would you have bought it on release?
No. If I had known about this, I would have not bought Fallout 4 at release. I would have waited until a Steam sale where it's reduced by 50 to 75%.
Yeah.
Because it was not worth the full asking price, because that was not the game experience I was looking for. It's a lesson I constantly need to relearn. But then we had Fallout New Vegas, which admittedly was made by a different developer. But still, so... And Bethesda did at least reasonably well with Fallout 3. So I had my hopes and my trust, but apparently it was misplaced.
I very rarely go for what's it called?
Oh.
Pre-release.
Hold on.
What?
Sorry, I misread that. Bell also said he knows that he does have a season pass. He just can't remember what he actually is in the season pass.
Yeah. Same here. So, early access. I'll buy early access. I've got no problems at all with early access. But I buy it for what it already does, not for what it promises to become.
That's a good policy. I bought Space DF9 back when early access was still fresh and new, based on the promises that the game was, going to develop into this big space management thing, which it just didn't. And then Double Fine basically just scrapped half of it, deleted all the material and information that was out about their plans, and said, look, it's done, goodbye. Xeron is giving us one last deal. He keeps the military assets, and he only gives us 1 billion for one rocket, and he now wants to know if that's a good deal. No, we have to pay 3 billion to get a new rocket. So this is not a very good deal. Also, Xeron has a hypothetical question. If he were to offer either of us the position of military governor, would we take the job? Well, it depends on what that position was for. Like, are we the military governor of Iceland? It's not a lot. Then again, I'd take it. Unless, of course, I'd be criminally involved in taking over Iceland, which sounds like a bit of a hassle. I don't really want to go through that. I'm busy on Tuesday. I'm happy if somebody else does the job and I come in and then I just organize some spreadsheets and keep the company and country running somewhat. But if I have to go in there and shove some troops around, that sounds bothersome.
I'm going to have to bring these round the back. Look, it's uneven terrain.
Are you kidding me?
No, I could put cables down, but I couldn't put pipes.
Huh. I didn't know about that.
Neither did I. So I shall put my resilient connection around the back.
Sal, would you accept the position of military governor?
It's unlikely that a position with the title of military governor is something I would be prepared to do. I've had some interesting working experiences in my life, including being given a job which, if I'd have carried out the responsibilities that I'd been given, would have bankrupted Costa Rica. And having met the people who lived there, and I knew them, and knowing that if I went ahead and did what I was supposed to do, they were going to have to close hospitals and schools because of what I'd done, just because I was following orders. I decided to blow the whistle instead. So,
well done on the moral level, Sal.
Yeah, so it comes to the point where I find that a job is unlikely to be
Cable fault reported.
worth it to me. Because I live by my own rules and my own moral compass. And yeah, and that's...
To summarize,
something like the military don't usually give you the opportunity to set your own moral compass.
Yeah. So to summarize, if you were to give Sal the position of military governor of, let's assume, Iceland, she would probably undermine your government if she believes it's not morally correct or solid.
Yeah, which
She'd
is
blow the
not
whistle on
what
you on the
want
UN.
from your military.
Yeah, that would be bad.
I would make a very poor military person.
I'll be
Sector
honest.
scanned.
I'd only take the job for the nice clothes.
The gold buttons.
I don't need the gold. Okay, maybe the gold buttons. They don't even need to be real gold, just painted on would work for
Pipe
me.
leak reported.
Cycling back. On a side note, Bill also pointed out he likes city skylines.
Oh,
He enjoys
yeah, I do
building
too.
cities and then flooding them.
Oh,
With people, I hope.
that wasn't what was coming to my mind, but sure.
I assume it's that classic Sim City vibe where you just enjoy sending tornadoes in your hard-earned work.
Running out of water. So,
Bill also believes that I would apparently be the military governor of the planet Bajor, which is a Star Trek DS9 reference. I mean, following up with that, Bill also posted a picture of the actual military governor of Bajor. I guess the clothes are decent, but it's not the nice sort of... Sorry, Bajor. It's not the sort of style I would go for. I mean, it doesn't even have padded shoulders or, buttons. Or a zipper. The texture just looks silly. What's that supposed to be? The floor of a bathroom? No, that's not what you call it. The floor of a metal walkway. There you go. So Zero points out that his hypothetical military governors would govern a whole sector of planets under the Viron Republic. Words. We would have 2 fleet admirals and 2 generals, and the military governor is both civil and military. That sounds like a hard position to combine. How you can... Usually the interests of civil servants and military members seem hard to combine.
balls. Don't think. I was hoping I would be able to get the next extractor within
Funding
current
received.
range.
Can you relay the cables?
It's the... Oh no, it might just work there actually if I relay the cables like you say. Let's...
Oof, that was a bit much.
Don't think you can trim it.
Yeah, I know. It's finicky.
Oh, it'll actually fit right there. I'll do.
Nice, doesn't even mean you need to relay cables, just adjust
stick a
the
bit of
pipes.
Cable fault reported.
Belos is asking if these clothes would be better. No, not really. Still no shoulder pads. Zero points out that in your hypothetical scenario, Sal would be a traitor to the Viron Republic. And how dare you destroy the Viron ideology? You see, the thing is, it was a hypothetical scenario in which she'd only betray you if she deems your morals
Research
and
complete.
guidelines as screwed, unjust, not aligning with her moral compass.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a nice republic, it's all cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, republic sounds like a decent form of government. Then again, why does a republic need military governors? They don't usually have those, do they? Potato
Yeah,
points
right,
out that
that's-
these faces look like the result of sticking your head in the microwave. Well, don't judge them. I'm sure they're having their reasons. Some people are just, body modification junkies or something like that. If it's something they enjoy, we won't judge.
Indeed.
Or we should at least try and aim not to judge. Yeah, but it gets a bit awkward if they have, 3 feet long javelins sticking out of their mouth. So every time they, turn to you or talk to you, you get stabbed in the face, which is a bit inconsiderate. Then I feel free to judge. Then again, they could argue that it's my fault for not accommodating for their needs for personal space. Which now in retrospect looks like a good way to enforce your personal space. Just cover yourself in spikes.
Oh, I've got that research that allows me to... I can do research and get money.
Do you desperately need money right now?
No. But it's useful. But I didn't have it before.
Belos is asking if the Viron Republic is part of his role-playing game that he was designing. Yeah, that's a good question. How's that coming along? Hold on, you're flip-flopping now, Zeron. Didn't you say it was the Viron Republic? Why is the Viron Republic now part of the regime of the Viron Empire? This seems confusing. And I'm aware, Bell, also, I know that the chat relay isn't working. I mentioned it at the start when Taka was in here. I tried fixing it, but it seems to be stuck on that now, and I can't really try anything else without turning the stream off.
Well, I am kind of at the point where I think I'm probably ready to call it an... Oh, I didn't realise there was things over here.
Yeah, but those are quite expensive.
I mean, I knew it went down, I knew it went a long way over that way. I didn't realise that there was something I couldn't see. But it's okay, it's not something I want anyway. Or at least, not yet. It's not priority. Okay, I think that'll do.
Well, it's
Yeah.
only 4 more souls. Come on, just, 4 more souls, and then we'll end on a nice round number. We'll have made it. We'll be able to shake our own hands, congratulate ourselves, punch our
Okay.
backs a bit.
4 more souls.
Yes, there we go. I did it. Zeron explains that this isn't part of the game he's developing, it's just his Space Engineers faction.
Ah.
Alright, that makes more sense. You usually don't have the critical mass of population to actually form a proper republic. Well, also thanks me for my excellent, convincing. What's the noun for convincing?
a noun for convincing. Convincing is an adjective. I can't think of a noun equivalent. Is there one?
There should be one. I want to refer to my convincing skills, but as in.
Yeah.
But that makes it just seem like my skills are convincing. I want to talk about my convincing skills. Oh no, this is confusing.
Trying to think of the word. I know it. I can't think of it.
Persuasion! The
Yeah.
word is persuasion. Jesus, cow slappy Christ. In my defense, it's still late.
It's late. Okay, and we need oxygen tank.
Right. So Xeron explains that the Viron Empire was the first legitimate government for the Viron people, but one man destroyed the Viron Empire because he claimed that the Viron imperial ideology was flawed, and then, of course, replaced it with a, I hope, morally sound Viron Republic, in which people get to vote for their military governors. What? But also had to Google convincing noun to get to persuasion. I just Google translated Überredung from German into English. Überredungskunst. That's a word, right?
Sounds wordy.
So, Potato has a question for you, Sal.
Okay.
If you woke up one day...
If I what, sir?
If you woke up one day...
Yep.
I feel like
Centers
putting a
gained.
dramatic pause there to make it sound funnier, making it seem like the question was just about you waking up one day. Didn't work, I guess. Well, anyway. So if you woke up one day and everyone, including you, became the opposite gender, how would you react and adjust to the new lifestyle?
Probably better than most.
Well, is she the only one aware?
I was just thinking, imagine, most guys would spend hours jiggling with their own boobs. I was like, yeah, I'd probably be jiggling with my genitalia.
Would
to be
you
quite
please
honest.
stop? Now, getting back to the philosophical aspect of this conversation, are people aware that this happened, or is Sal the only one who changed? Because if everybody changes and everybody is aware, this will cause a lot of commotion and chaos in society because people are a tad confused. But if it's only Sal who realizes it, it doesn't seem like that much of an adjustment. Alright, so now we're going down the rabbit hole. Zero points out that the Emperor made him into the Grand Marshal of the Viron military, and he rallied the people and the Viron Republic as just a military dictatorship. But why would she call it a Viron Republic if it's a military dictatorship? This is really confusing. Well, I'm not going to read that out, Potato. But yes, according to him, only Sal knows that everyone changed their gender.
Everyone changed, and I'm the only one who's aware.
Yes. So there's no real big adjustment. It would just, I imagine, would just be like, huh, that's interesting. Alright, let's carry on about our day. Ugh. I don't know why, but that just threw up the weird imaginary scenario of Angela Merkel as a man.
Ooh. Looks like we've had a meteor impact which has left us some metal.
Bell also points out that Xeron should really condense all these ideas into a story of some kind. Because there seems to be potential there, but I do believe it would be better explained in a, fulfilled, coherent argument as part of either an interactive story, like a game, or just a, solid one, like a short story written down.
Cable fault reported.
And I have directed Sal to the message.
The correct term to the male version is helicoptering. Only Sal knows that.
You don't need to read
everyone's
the
gender
second
has
part.
swapped.
Oh yeah, I had that brief period in my life where I identified as Angela Merkel.
I wonder if that's a new bit of...
I mean, if only Sal notices, then I guess I wouldn't have any significant opinion about it. But then I could be Margaret and finally shove metro trams around. I showed you all. We've come full circle.
There's some research I can get. Must have been a meteor strike. Machine parts, electronics, polymers, concrete and metals. Okay, so all's good up here.
Well, first off, Potato now directs this question at me. First off, mild confusion. Secondly, trying to Google if I'm the only one who noticed. I don't know how to Google that. I'll have to think about this. And thirdly, mild concerns about wardrobe. Did my wardrobe change with me?
That is a good point, actually.
That's a very important point to me, because if my wardrobe didn't change along with me, I would feel uncomfortable.
Not half as uncomfortable as I'd feel, I imagine. Because my trousers would be very tight around the groin. These just would be a bit looser around the
Returning
groin.
to Xeron's story, so the Grand Marshal and the Vice Marshal are the only people who can appoint people as military governors. They're just like the Grand Moffs. And Xeron would really like to make a Space Engineers role-playing series.
I mean, I'd loan you a bra,
Stop it, you're a man in this case. And I wouldn't dare to ask your significant other about him.
Well, he'd obviously want a bra as well.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't know that he changed, and he probably has fitting attire.
Well, if that assumes that everybody's wardrobe has changed with them.
So, do only people's genders change? Or does reality change and my wardrobe is adjusted accordingly?
Because this is really important to me.
It is. Xeron would like to make a Space Engineers role-playing series out of this idea, which seems interesting, although, word of advice, I don't think it would make for a very engaging, or at least it would be very difficult to make it a very engaging story if you immediately jump into imperial politics. People need to have something on a down-to-earth level so they can relate with the story and then slowly get into it. A simple premise. Just take at the Star Wars series, in which you get the down-to-earth, simple story of Luke Skywalker becoming a big space hero. It would seem rather jarring if you immediately jump into intergalactic politics as they do in the first 3 Star Wars movies.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
So to make things less confusing, Potato points out that the clothes change as well. Well, imagining that I can't do a lot about it, I guess, after a bit of freaking out and sheepishly asking internet strangers about this. I would try to live out my life as normally as possible. I need to learn how to buy new clothes. Oof. Luckily, the internet is there. But I need to embarrass myself by going to a store. Anyway. Enough of this horrible topic. Is this a question you usually ask people to make conversation? I don't think I'd enjoy being around you on parties. Bell also criticizes my down-to-earth storytelling approach by connecting the simple story of a farm boy to a galactic freedom fighter and hero of the people. The point here is the story focused entirely on the person and the story of Luke Skywalker. It branched off, but it always returned to him and saw him as the main focus of the series, the anchor point for the people who were watching to relate to. They were trying for something similar in the prequels. I imagine through Anakin and Obi-Wan, but they were a lot more focused on intergalactic politics. And again, this is something that can seem jarring to most people, although I have to admit that I do quite enjoy the prequels due to their politics bit. But that's because I have already been connected to the world through the first 3 movies. Hold on, I already said that. 3 episode 4 to
Resources are low.
6.
How are we doing for machine parts? 16. But we have a rocket at Earth, don't we? So, and we have money, so we can always ship some in if we need to.
Well, also points out the prequels were awesome. I agree, but I believe they only worked because people already had that connection to the world through the other movies. It feels difficult to immediately get into a new fictional world and all its surrounding politics if you don't have a down-to-earth anchor point that the audience can relate to on a personal level. You need to have somebody who slowly introduces them to the concept.
Salamir, would you support the Veron Empire? That was a good government.
Well, I'm not sure if it's a good government. Hold on.
Well, I was going to say one person's good government is another person's bad government.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to define what a good government is.
And I have to admit, I'm still confused about the whole bit about the Veron Empire or the Veron Republic. A republic that apparently isn't even really a republic, and it's just a military dictatorship.
That's just semantics, Mir. I wouldn't
Semantics? That's a
wouldn't
very
get
important
hung up
detail.
on the name.
I would rather live in a republic rather than a republic that calls it... Rather than a military dictatorship under Theresa May that calls itself a republic.
I would rather live under a truly benign dictator than a democracy.
I mean, that's nice, but I can't see May being one.
Who?
Theresa May. I try to connect real-world politics with this.
Oh, right, okay, that's why it confused me for a moment.
Thank you.
What? Who's this May person?
But also does not get all the hate towards Jar Jar Binks. I mean, yes, he was a bit goofy and a bit of a fool, but I saw nothing bad in that. I personally am really upset with this archetype and TV trope, storytelling trope of the bumbling fool and idiot. I don't like him. It doesn't add to the story, and I'm not the biggest fan of this silly slapstick humor it's trying to convey through them. I guess they just have to be in those sorts of things. Potato Dat, I would want to have the talk with male Sal on why Sal's
The mission
wardrobe?
evaluation is over, but the bright future is just ahead of us.
With the spectacular achievements of our mining and export endeavour, there's hardly anyone who believes that the concept of interplanetary commerce is a laughing matter. The ample amounts of rare metals we've sent to Earth will make money flow towards Mars, and we all know that where money flows, people follow. Not many generations will pass before the space between the blue and the red planets fills with the eyes traffic of rockets carrying back and forth shipments and settlers.
A toast to that.
Yay! Final score 16,524. We exported 162 rare metals in that time. Very good.
Lovely stuff.
Resources are low.
Haven't actually looked at my milestones. Where do they live? There. Haven't researched a breakthrough yet. But that's only because the one breakthrough that we found isn't useful until we get deep mining.
Bell also points out that the problem is that there never will be a truly benign dictator, even if someone starts out that way. Either they get corrupted by someone else over time, give in to their base impulses on their own, or get puppeted.
Yeah.
There is an exception, I believe. An exception that could possibly be forever a benign dictator. An artificial intelligence.
Possibly.
Although there are a few things that can go wrong with that too. But out of all the candidates, I do believe that an artificial intelligence would make the best possible governing body of a futurologist society. Futuristic society, that's the word. Anyway.
Alright, so we've reached 100. And I think that's where we're going to stop for tonight.
Well, there you go. I did what I could, but I guess we have to end at some point.
Yeah, I need to sort of stop and think and plan my next move, work out like what I need to keep my eyes on, because sort of I thought all of these steps up ahead. Now I need to think of what my next steps are going to be and what I might fall short on and which resources I need to keep my eyes on and all that sort of thing. So yeah. So it'd be good to have a bit of time to just figure out what I'm doing, what my focus is going to be on next. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you again sometime soon, which might be tomorrow, or might be over the weekend, or might be. But anyway, between now and Thursday.
We'll never know, but thank you for all the people who joined us.
We'll know within the week.
And we need to do a dramatic exit thing now.
Bye, everybody.
That's not dramatic enough, but fine.